Hello there, it's Cathy Brothers here, and welcome to the review of a leadership book that I'm going to share with you today. I'm thrilled to have this opportunity, and I congratulate Leadership Waterloo Region for bringing us this chance to just look at what is it that makes our leaders successful and continually thriving. I am the CEO of Capacity Canada, and we're a charitable organization that helps the leaders in nonprofits across Canada to grow and thrive and innovate and all those exciting things that lead to finding greater solutions and greater success in dealing with some pretty complex problems. But all that aside about me, today is about one of my very favorite people, Charlie Brown. I'm thrilled to have a chance to talk about a leader, Charlie Brown, and his Peanuts gang, who have influenced me over the many, many years of my career. Way back when I was in university, I had a theology professor who used to bring in to every class comics from Charles Schulz that would illustrate some of life's most complex theological and philosophical problems. I never forgot the influence that had on getting me to find new ways of looking at everyday matters. So the book I'm going to review today is called You're a Leader, Charlie Brown. The book is a 2016 publication, so it's relatively recent. It's by Carla Kersinger. So Carla has written this little workbook, really, that gives us a map of leadership principles from the unique perspective of Charlie Brown and the Peanuts gang. It's really a delightful book. It's quite simple. It's an overview of the personalities and the leadership qualities of Charlie Brown and each of his buddies in the Peanuts gang. This book is really easy reading. It's fun reading. The author uses Peanuts cartoons throughout the book to illustrate her points. It's written in a basic workbook kind of style that illustrates the profound leadership insights that Charles Schulz has given to us through Peanuts and his gang. It's a book that really is suitable for study for all ages and stages of leadership. What I like about this book, and what I really love about the Peanuts cartoons, is that they recognize leadership qualities in everyone, not just the superstars. That, leadership is not for those that go off to Eagle School or leadership school and learn how to be some kind of superior human beings. That there's aspects of leadership that are really important in the way we relate to and influence people, no matter what our particular role in life is. What this author, Kersinger, has picked up on are some of the fundamental leadership traits that Charles Schulz has captured in the Peanuts cartoons. So I'll say these words, and if you're even running through in your own mind the most recent Peanuts cartoon or comic that you've seen, you'll recognize these traits in those delightful Peanuts characters. Perseverance, presence. Who's got the it factor? How do you make people feel? How do you make people feel pay attention to you? Communication, listening, inspiration, teamwork, acceptance, adaptability, adaptability, and celebration. Pretty simple and profound, aspects to leadership. So in reality, though, I'm talking about Kurt Singer's book. It's not really her book that I'm reviewing. It's the comics in general of Charles Schulz. It's those comics that provide the insights into Charlie Brown's leadership. So if for some reason you can't find the Kurt Singer book, don't worry. Instead, go to any collection of Peanuts comics by Charles Schulz. I really encourage you to find a book of Peanuts comics, and it won't be hard for you to reflect on leadership within the framework of Schulz's lovable characters. The amazing thing, I mean, there's a lot of amazing things about the basic and fundamental leadership truths that we find in Peanuts, is how enduring and how lasting the influence of Charles Schulz has been. His comics are actually used in all kinds and all levels of university and educational programs and courses. You see them quoted in business courses, as I said, philosophy and theology, any kind of course that has something to do with understanding human nature. There's no better teacher than Charles Schulz and Charlie Brown. Amazingly, Charles Schulz published his first comic strip early in the 1950s. And for 50 years, Schulz continued to reflect on so many aspects of the characters he invented through a daily comic strip. 50 years, that's a long time to have a comic every day. That what I like, about these comics is that Schulz never got lost in what I would call the mumbo jumbo jargon of leadership intellectuals. Schulz doesn't examine complex paradigms or theories of leadership in language that we will never be able to recall again, let alone repeat or teach someone else. Schulz tells stories of characters whom we never forget. Like I think we'd be hard pressed to find someone in our English speaking world who doesn't know who Lucy is, who doesn't know who Linus is, who's never heard of Snoopy, who doesn't know who Charlie Brown is. That, there's a mastery that Schulz has in conveying who these characters are, that after 70 years, they're still front of mind for us. Charlie and his friends, and this is huge in leadership. People these days are getting a lot of attention by giving seminars on the importance of failing and failing forward, and, being understanding and risk taking, that we're not growing and changing unless we're making mistakes. Charlie Brown had that figured out 70 years ago. Neither Charlie nor his friends are afraid to make mistakes. They make lots of them. One of the cool quotes that the author Kurt Singer has in the leadership analysis of Charlie Brown is, if you want to be a leader, get yourself a gang to start with. And Charlie sure did that. We know the names and the characters of all the people in his gang. They're humble. They genuinely care about each other, and they are kind. These are basic, wonderful qualities of all the leaders I have ever worked with that I respect. The humility, the genuine caring for each other, and the fact that they're kind. Now, it's fun in Peanuts to try and figure out who the real leader is. We could have lots of debate about it. Is it Charlie Brown? Or is it Bossy Lucy? Is Lucy the leader? Snoopy surely can't be the leader. He's pretty selfish, that guy. What about it? Or is it somehow the combination of that whole gang that makes up what leadership is all about? Schultz has some great references. If you're teaching any sessions yourself on teamwork, like you just have to find a cartoon from Peanuts to support what you're talking about. That a theme that runs throughout all the comics of Schultz is managing teams. And Kurt Singer has caught that pretty well, you know, in her book in terms of the role that Charlie has in managing the baseball team and organizing the Christmas pageant. You know, a funny question around leadership is, did it really matter that Charlie Brown's baseball team never won a game? I think Schultz, where some of his real genius comes in, is in recognizing the power of character flaws. You know, personally, I like leaders that have a few warts. I'm worried about slick and perfect leaders. I'm afraid they're going to, you know, drive me somewhere that I don't want to go. I like leaders that, you know, are less than perfect, have some insight about that, and are able to use their flaws in a way that inspire and engage other people. In the Peanuts characters, we recognize kindness, humor, perseverance, and as I've said a few times, humility. You know, we mostly see that when Charlie Brown goes for that football one more time. You know, I mean, why is that image so enduring? You know, that no matter how many times Lucy pulls that football out just before, you know, Charlie kicks it, he keeps trying. And it's fascinating to try and figure out what we can learn from that. Also, you know, I said about Charles Schultz having endured, and we still see Peanuts cartoons every day for 70 years. Why is it so enduring? I mean, it's amusing, it's lovable, it's entertaining, but it's educational. We can learn so much from the simple honesty, the kindness, and the humility of Charlie Brown. Maybe even we can learn from the bravado and certainty of Lucy. As they say, good grief, Charlie Brown. There's something magical about an author who has us still debating after 70 years whether the little round-headed boy is a leader or a loser. I'm going to leave that up to you to decide, and I hope you'll take the opportunity to go and have some fun looking at Peanuts cartoons, Peanuts comics with a little different framework. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've loved the opportunity that Leadership Waterloo Region has given me, and I wish you the best of luck in your journey towards ever better leadership. Thank you.